Aloha, beautiful people, and welcome to a new episode of Transformational Thursdays with, well, the four beauties, I'm going to say it today. Why? Because everything can seem ugly, but we are here to beautify it. It's all about perspective, isn't it? Or so I want to believe. Now, we are here today. We gathered here today for, let's see, to experience certain transformation. Have we now? Why do we keep on saying transformation? Because it's one of the favorite words of each and one of us. And mine, why is transformation? Because I work with the emotional scale of Abraham Hicks, and I always take people from the lowest vibration, which is usually fear, depression, grief, and so on, to the highest, which is joy, enlightenment, gratitude, love. Love. From fear to love. It's quite the journey. 22 steps more exactly, they say. So it is a transformation, and all questions that we are getting, most of the time, they come from a place of fear, from a place of anger, from a place of anxiety. There is an emotion that is attached to it. And after we answer, we are always told that, oh my gosh, it actually shifted my perception. It actually shifted the way I used to see it. How is that even possible? Because you are open and ready for that. That's what transformation is. Now, we have an awesome question. I'm not gonna lie. When Diana came up with it from her client, I was, wow, I love it. So his question is, how do I get over my fear of talking to women? You may laugh because it's so easy to laugh at it. I've seen people laughing at it straight away. Like, it's a woman. What do you mean you can't talk with it? Well, it's not always easy when you are introverted and when you yourself are having an image that you feel does not resonate with the person you're going to talk with, then you're going to feel unworthy. Then you're going to feel like, oh, okay, probably not good enough for her, so probably, go the other way around. Or you're going to feel intimidated just by her walking towards you, and instead of saying something, you're either blurting out and running away. We've seen that in movies, actually. Or you simply freeze. I used to be the freeze one. Like, did you know the second most common fear is speaking publicly? And yes, this can be addressed as public speaking. Whenever you are talking with someone whom you do not know, it's so very true. It is a fear, but that fear comes from within. It's always coming from within. So my question that I would love for you to take a deeper dive and even journal on it, or use your recorder and just say your thoughts aloud, is, where did I get this fear from? Where in my childhood have I felt overwhelmed by a woman? Or who was the woman that intimidated me the most in my childhood? And why did I feel intimidated? Or why did I feel suppressed? Or why is it that I reprimanded my own feelings? because it's always starting from your childhood. Always. That fear of not speaking, it's because something happened or someone happened that you've seen it in a position of authority. And then you took a step back and be like, okay, if I'm speaking up, it's not good, so I would better shut the heck up. But by doing that, you dimmed your light, and people are not able to see the authentic you. And it's your choice. No one else's but yours, because you gave your power away the moment you allowed that trauma to be dragged from your past to your present. And I'm not here to judge you on that. Oh no, I'm sure we all have our own demons to fight. But talking with a woman, for some, may be something that they are born with. For a man, we are not men. I want to, specify and put that very in the open. Yes, we are not men. We do not know 100% sure how men are thinking. It's not like men know how women are thinking. We do not say that. But from our perspectives as women, when someone is coming, when someone is approaching me as a man and talking like jittery, and I already know that they feel intimidated, because I may come across sometimes as very on point and conceited. Yes, I was told that, so that can happen. And I'm okay with it, because it's their perspective. I don't have to agree with it, but I believe it's in my power to respect their decision till they are ready to change it. And then there are others who are like, yeah, and I'm like, do we know each other? So it's kind of the roles are getting a bit reversed, because I'm feeling a bit my space kind of thing. So neither of these are probably, from my point of view, the best way to approach me. But one of the best way for you to do so is match the energy I have, especially then and there. If I'm like, hello, how are you? A simple hello, how are you is going to suffice that. But that's me. Literally, that's me. And it's a fear that can be transformed into abundance, because you are abundance, my darling. And you can embody that and manifest the woman of your dream by simply allowing those buried down thoughts, emotions, and words to surface. Not in one of those ways like, oh yeah, women, what am I going to say next? Take it easy. Take a step back. Whenever you feel like you're overwhelmed, you don't know, take a step back. And ask yourself, what is it that you actually like of that woman? Why would you even want to engage in a conversation with her? Is there something that attracts you? Is it her feminine energy? Is it the way she looks? Is it the way she talks? Maybe one of the thoughts that she presented resonated with you and is like, oh my gosh, I have never seen. What is it that attracted you? And match that. Literally, match that. What do you think, Verna?
I think it's so important. You said a number of things. What had happened in the past. Did somebody say something? Did somebody react the way you spoke, or did you hear something that you mentioned and you were put down by it? That can have a negative effect, especially as you said, if you're introvert. But what I'm getting is that one of the things is that cultural, there are different cultures, and understanding culture can be challenging. But in any case, just saying hello. I know it happened with me. If I'm walking the street and I say hello to someone or I say good morning, it's like, do I know you? No, you may not know me, but it's just a greeting, just greeting someone, regardless of whether they answer you or not. You have done what you felt. You have done it, and you just say hello. Good morning. How are you today? And it's a really, really important thing to ask. And that person that you are passing may not have heard anyone greet them or say, how are you doing? And just by you saying that can open up a conversation because it's like, oh, thank you for asking. I feel so good that you asked me that question. And then for others, it's like, oh, who are you to ask me that question? So it's all about culture. It's not just about how that being afraid to speak to a woman. So look within you and see what that fear, where that fear is coming from, where that fear is coming from, and act. So the more you act out, just saying hello, whether that person is elderly, young, whatever, they're not anybody intimate. Hello, how are you today? And the more you say is the more confident you are going to be. Because what you're doing is building your confidence to speak. And as Deanna say, is public speaking. We think that when we get on a stage that we're public speaking, but we are speaking right now. All of us are public speaking. We are speaking to you right now over the internet, something we couldn't do before and has become so the norm now that you can say hello. And hello is a greeting. So you're greeting someone. So don't let fear hold you back. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. And fear is like it holds you in bondage, is a bondage. So it grips you and you feel as though you're in a straight jacket. You can't move right, you can't move left. You just, I'm afraid. No, no, be free. Set yourself free. And it's only you can set yourself free. That freedom, when you taste that freedom, nothing will hold you back. Absolutely nothing. So look within. The answers are always within us. So even though I might be walking and I'm just about to say hello and somebody crossed the street, I'll be like, what's wrong with that person? That's not my problem. I don't take that on personally. They have a problem. Maybe something happened. Like at one time, I was walking the street, I had a gold chain on, and somebody came, two guys, one on my right, one on my left. And the next thing I know, they grabbed my neck. I forgot I had a gold chain on, and it just came from the cleaner, so it was glittering. That made me fearful. So something may have happened that caused you to be fearful. So when that moment happened, it was like, okay, it burst, it fell to the floor. And I was like, do I bend down and pick it up? What are these two guys going to do to me if I bend down and pick it up? What was I going to lose? What was the cost? And the cost to me was my life. I didn't want to lose my life. Was that fearful? Yes, you bet it was fearful. So there are different scenarios. So what I said to them, I looked at them both and I said, it seems as though you bought it. It seems as though you gave it to me. It seems as though it belongs to you. So take it. But I refused to be fearful. I remember selling everything gold that I had because I became afraid of wearing jewelry. I'm no longer afraid. I had to deal with that. That fear that was created because of an action by a couple of people, I had to deal with that. And it's the same thing that you have to do. You have to decide, do I want to live in fear or do I want to live in hope? So regardless of whether that person, that woman, whoever it is, answer me or not, as a male, yes, you can feel intimidated. Some women can make you feel intimidated. Not that they mean to make you intimidated, it's just who they are. And it might, as I said before, it can be cultural. What is the culture of that person? Where that person come from? That could be it. Some people are told, women are told, don't talk to a man, don't speak to a man. If a man say hello, don't speak to them. Because it was ingrained in them as kids because of an incident that may have happened. So don't take it personally. It's not meant to be personal. Just accept and move on. And keep saying hello. Keep saying hello. Hello, good morning. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, hi, how are you doing today? And always have a smile. Always have a smile. A smile tells 1,000 stories. A frown tells a story as well. So smile. A beautiful smile can melt a heart, a wounded heart. They may not answer you at that moment. You may not verbally say, hi, but internally, you don't know how you make that person feel internally. So you may not see that visible action, but the invisible action that you have created is 1,000 words. And it brings healing. So keep on saying hello. Because you don't know what you are doing. You don't know the joy you are bringing to that person. Diana, I pass over to you.
All right, thank you. So, a few things have come to mind with what you all have talked about. And one of the things is a story about my own life that I'd like to share. So, years ago, I walked into, I think it was a restaurant, not really sure anymore, when I was really, really upset. Some difficult stuff had happened and I was just not in a good place. I went in there for hot chocolate to just calm down before going home. And it was really weird because nobody really talked to me. People were staring at me because I had tears running down my face. That's how bad it was. But then there was one man. He looked at me, approached me, sat down at the next table initially, and asked whether he could help me. And that was amazing. He first said hello, and then, choked up hello from me. And he asked whether he could help me. And I said, I don't think so. And he said, is it okay for me to come a bit closer so we can talk? We talked. And to this day, he's still a good friend of mine, but it was a complete stranger that was just caring. And it was amazing because that restaurant was full of people. And I was just stared at for the most part, except for him. he was really super kind, and we've gone out for a hot drink regularly since then, and it's always been just really nice to just have that conversation. And it's also interesting how he's seen my journey from back then to now. What a difference it has been in my life, and you know how yeah, it's just been really a good connection to have him as a friend, and that would have never happened had he not said something. And I really value that he did. And then there's a few other things that came to mind, like culture. I've lived in different countries, and in some countries it's rude to not say anything when you pass someone, at least something like a good morning. So I've lived in different European countries, and in Switzerland, when you pass people, when you just say something like hello, depending on the area. In Holland, it's also pretty common to say something, although not everybody does anymore. And in Germany, it's also fairly accepted to just say hello when you pass someone, because it's kind of weird to pass someone without acknowledging their presence. And here in the UK, I also noticed that it depends on which area you live in, because where I live, it's pretty common to say something. But other areas where I've been, people just pass each other without acknowledging each other. And I've always found it a bit strange to not acknowledge someone's presence. When I walk the dog, honestly, everybody says something. Regularly, we end up with a chat, because the moment you see the same face a couple of times, you can't have a chat with them. Doesn't mean I know them. I just know their face, and they're just lovely people. So it's these things where differences are culturally or locally or whatever it is. And we can be the start of a change. That's what I've also thought at some point, because I find it really nice to just say hello to people instead of just passing them. And the more I do it, the more others do as well, because it, you know, my smile and everything just brings out something in them. And it's just really nice. And of course, that fear is hard to deal with, but it's also a thing of practice, because when you look at a little child, everything they've done and grown into it was scary initially. I think for going from crawling to walking must be terrifying when you're walking around like that. That can't be easy. But you keep doing it until it works. And I think that's with a lot of things where fear comes in. The moment you let that be a habit of fear, it just stays that way. And when you try to change the habit, so we're going to start small, we're going to do something. And there's 2 books on how to start small, like mini habits. I found that really, really funny to read and also enlightening. And atomic habits, small improvements, tiny little steps. Just makes life so much easier. And with this one, I have nothing much about the microbiome to say, to be fair. Because I'm not sure how the microbiome, yeah, well, there's always the things with, you know, mental health, physical health, improving your microbiome with fermented foods and probiotics. It will certainly make you feel more calm, but when that fear is from a past trauma, it will be supporting, but it's not going to change it. So then it's more like a habit where you have to work on changing that habit. Now, Vikki, I'm pretty sure you have something really nice to say about this as well. So go for it.
Thank you. And thanks, guys. Lots of wisdom from your perspective. And it's really beautiful to see that how we see this issue from our perspective. But I believe it's quite common that we have something in our life what we are so afraid to do. It's just in our nature. And as Diana says last, that it's different to people, it's different to region, that here where I am living, it's a small suburb area of a mid-sized city. Inside the city center, nobody say anything, we just pass by. But here in the suburb area, people who are walking, especially people with dogs walking or something, you want to say hello, hi, how are you? So natural. And sometimes there is a little longer conversation, sometimes it's nothing. And I believe that people are doing it naturally, and when they when they feel to say hello, then say hello. And many times without saying hello, I just put a smile on my face, as Verna says, then and try to make eye contact. And it's connecting people. People are giving back smiles who you don't even expect to give back smile. And my point of view or my perspective is the three principle understanding our think behavior and experience through our thinking. And these three principles also talk about feelings, that every feeling is thought created. So instead of try to figure it out, the content, what you are thinking, why you are afraid of talking to woman, just try to understand what your feeling tried to show you. That in that moment, you have fearful thinking. You have something in your head, what you are afraid. But what you truly afraid, is it true? What's the worst things can happen if you talk to a woman? And if your attention or if your intention is kind, is acting as a gentleman, generous, or helpful, what's the worst things can happen? And based on my experience, we are really afraid from the unknown, that what we are afraid of, what you are saying, that the other people might think about you. Do you know that, what they will think? No, we don't. We never know. Even with with the bestest, loveliest intention, someone can respond negatively. Did you do something wrong? No. Can you expect the reaction, what they will react? No. So it's not up to you how other people react, how other people will answer. But your intention, your action is up to you. That if everything is come from that kind, gentle, general loving, I'm not talking about intimate relationship, but when you are love each other, when you love, respect, care to someone as another human being, then it's, in my point of view, that it's not scary. But oh damn, that's scary, what you start to think in your head, that oh my God, how it's will react, I don't know, do I initiate a conversation? And it's everything what we don't know, it's scary. And some people scare more, some people getting more excited. So it's again that how you interpret that feeling or that emotion. And other things that nowadays I was thinking about, that even your posture, if you are in a real-time situation, straighten yourself, put your shoulders down, lift your head, put a smile, and you will feel much more comfortable just with that positive attitude. Put that positive attitude into your body, can change your whole experience in a situation. So it's just check in, just take a step back, that if you really want to talk or engage or talk to a woman, if you come from love or generous or curiosity, just do it. Because until you believe what's in your head, then you will not do it. You will be scared. But you know that the how to improve, how to you can experience and see that nothing to scare or afraid of, except the fear itself, as Verna said. You might learn something new about yourself. You might learn something new that and see something new, see some people, and you will be getting better. Until you'd never try, you'll never be better in it. And that's the also sometimes we think that it's enough to talk about or it's enough to read about it, but the improvement is the doing. That's what gives you to get better in it. That's what gives you the experience. Like nobody was good to drive a car. Oh hell, I was afraid to drive a car until I keep driving, I keep doing. Once it's clicked, and I was getting much more better in it. But till that moment, I was so afraid. Every time the biggest accident in the world and my death come into my mind that, oh my God, I will die in this journey. I will die this because something will happen and what I will do and blah, blah, blah. It's only in your head. Or most of the time, how you experience it, it's always come through you, from you. So I hope this helped and you hear or see something from any of us sharing, and take out, apply what you would like the most.
Thank you, Vikki. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Verna. As you see, you have 4 perspectives, 4 different stories on what happened in our lives. We shared with you specific moments that it's not sometimes easy to share. It's our way of encouraging you to step into your power and take that action, because as much as we would love to hold your hand while you do it, I'm quite sure that you are in charge of it, that you can decide when you are ready. And you can think of us like, those gut fairies in the back of your head cheering for you, rooting for you. Take a good look, maybe a screenshot of us. And when you're ready to do it, just think of us like, you got this, you got this, you got this. Yes, it's pretty much what I also felt compelled to share, honestly. I trust that the different perspectives have helped you. Verna is always approaching every situation from a point of creating resilience. And this question that you had is incredible. Or it's like a milestone on your path on creating resilience. Vikki is always about the 3 principles and how she's always touching this deeper and deeper, not just the surface level, because it's so easy to just, okay, let me do it like surfacely. Yeah, you barely scratch it. But when you go deeper within and you have her by your side, then of course things are going to show differently. And Diana, even though she did not answer us microbiome fully, remember that she is also very well known for her meditations, practice, and mindfulness. And that's the perspective she answered from today. And myself, I'm all about transforming your fear into love. because fear is the lowest vibration, love is the highest. And there's a process. And it might be the same that we share, but it's implemented differently. It's delivered differently. It's implemented differently. Because even though we are part of the oneness in this lifetime, our callings are similar, but have a twist that makes us authentic in our branch. And most importantly, it's who we are. So I really trust that from these perspectives, you have taken whatever resonated the most with you, whatever aligned the most with you, and you are going to take action. I would love to encourage you to join our Facebook community and ask questions there. You can also post them anonymously, but I would encourage you to show up as yourself, because that's when you are ready. Anonymous, it's still not yet ready. It's still a fearful state that you're perpetuating. While when you're posting the question, you know that you want to have an answer from it, or at least perspectives, or a reconfirmation of what you already know deep down. So join that and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on this one, because let's be honest, we are here with you, for you, and we also have to make sure that we are making an impact. And sometimes that impact is reflected on the amount of, yes, egotistical parameters such as likes, shares, and so on. Nonetheless, it's marketing. Guess what marketing is? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm curious about your opinion, but we are not going to take this one deeper today, because we're going to be here probably forever. So thank you, thank you, thank you for taking the time to be here with us. Thank you for tuning in, for listening. Thank you, and remember that a recording is always released on Thursday morning at 9 AM GMT time here on our YouTube channel, and we post a reminder every Thursday in our community. And on the, let me see if I remember correctly, I think it's 28, ladies, isn't it? 28th of March, when we have our next live Q&A session. Do you feel brave? Do you feel ready to take a step towards your transformation? Please show up there, then and there, live, and ask those questions. We are there for you. So thank you, and have a lovely, lovely, lovely day ahead. Abundant blessings and peace of eye.
Bye bye.